Sean and I both got on, and we're like first thing that comes out of our mouths are like we're like dead tired tonight. Like it's been a hell of a week. Um,
Expect low energy.
yeah, it's gonna be very, very low energy. Um, it's gonna be like Jeb Bush up in here tonight.
Hey, please clap.
Please clap. Yeah. Please laugh at that. Please laugh at that joke.
Yeah. Please, anyone remember who Jab Budge was?
Yeah. I might be aging myself there by talking
Right.
about Jeb Bush. All the young people out there be like, who the hell is Jeb Bush? Um,
Yeah, I
welcome
could start telling you
everybody.
stories about Bill Clinton. My God.
Oh my God, Bill Clinton, yeah, George H.W. Bush. Um, welcome
Yeah,
everybody.
Poppy.
Another episode of Make City Make Spence. I am Adam Hernandez. With me, as always, Sean Spence. I would ask how you are. I'm still gonna ask how you are tonight, Sean. How you doing tonight?
I mean, I'm doing okay. I am fatigued, but also I have my weekend this weekend is Friday and Saturday. So I have the next 2 days off of making pizzas, which is, you know, wonderful.
Yeah.
I like making pizzas, but 40 hours a week is what I got in me.
I yeah,
So,
I
yeah, we're tapping out. We're tapping out at that, and I'm gonna like spend a couple days, fruitfully doing something else.
absolutely. I don't blame you. Well, let's just get right into it tonight. Detroit City FC coming off of a 1-0 win over FC Tulsa this past Saturday night on the road
Yeah,
in a very
yeah,
hot and muggy Tulsa. Actually Jam was
yeah.
there. And she
Yes.
said it was hot as shit there. Darren Smith.
Yeah,
Um,
the wet bomb was high enough. It was like a triple, it was like a double break scenario. Like they were
yeah.
going 15 minutes at a time and then taking a break.
Yeah, and they looked pretty dead at the end of it. Darren Smith
Yeah.
scoring in the 51st minute, I believe over from Aiden Stanley. Smith's 12th goal of the season. I believe it moves him in sole possession of the USL Championship Golden Boot lead.
It did
Um,
at that moment. I don't know if it's still like I haven't paid any
yeah,
attention to the league that much.
yeah. I'm pretty. I think take that with a
I
grain
can
of
tell
salt right
you
now.
that no one on Loudoun United has more goals than Darren. that's that's as far as I've looked ahead.
So, Sean, initial thoughts, which were, big win coming off of, kind of, two downers, the previous
Yeah,
couple of
and
weeks.
well, and you know, a big win and a win really where they succeeded in precisely the way that like I called them out for failing in those previous two matches where they just have those moments where they weren't quite like switched on as a group and it would cost us like dearly, and this was a very switched on and
Hmm.
committed performance from beginning to end. Like they were holding each other accountable uh, for for being sharp and staying at it in really difficult conditions.
Hmm.
The other thing is that like and this is like kind of unremarked upon by so I don't like it's one of those things where um there was a period there where I didn't have audio on the match.
Okay.
And then when the audio came back on, I assumed they would be talking about this, and they never did. And so I was starting to feel like, am I tripping, or did they talk about it in the like 3 minutes I didn't have audio, or did they just not notice? And what I'm saying is that you know, Tulsa had gone like had four consecutive shutouts after switching to
Hmm.
this kind of 5-5-4-1
Yep.
uh and um it was very they were giving a well earned reputation for being very difficult to break down.
Hmm.
And they were demonstrating that from the beginning. But City came out and was like, we see what you're doing with committing guys to the defense, and we'd like to go you one further. Because we started in our 4-2-3-1, but our back four was really playing very tight, like very like the width of the penalty area. Like all four defenders were kind of playing as central defenders because we had our two starting wing backs starting at wing. We had Haruki on the right wing and Aiden Stanley at left wing. So when we fell back into a defensive posture, we had six defenders. Um, and that little gambit, like it just kind of like stumped the band, I feel like, uh for Tulsa. The other thing is I think they came in with the idea that they were going to like, shock us with that deviant behavior by going against their previous uh pattern and really trying to keep the ball. And like
Yeah.
and I think they were a little surprised that we were almost seemed like we had kind of anticipated that. We were like, okay. Like, you
No,
know,
it's
it was
that,
very like old school Detroit City for in a lot of ways. Like, no, we're here for to play defense first. We're going to shut you out. That's what we're here to do.
it's
And if
interesting
you
you
make
say
a
that.
mistake, then we'll get it. We'll win.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
it's interesting you bring that up because Tulsa finished, I think, with 63% or 63.7% possession, 14
yeah,
shots and six corners. Only one of those shots was reached target.
right.
They had 19 touches inside the 18, and obviously, based on, their total shot output of the night, um, nothing was really produced while they were, in the
Yeah.
box there.
Well, and like, okay, so um, they have 19 touches in the penalty area. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the shot map. And they had four of their 15 shots were outside the area. So 11 of those 19 touches were shots.
Hmm.
Um, which means they aren't doing a lot of combining in the area.
Yeah.
It's suggestive of a team that's cross doing a lot of crosses, and maybe or um, it's kind of lobbing the ball forward. Like they did get five or six of their shots after like the 89th minute when they went into full desperation mode and were just sort of bombing away at it. And I think they had this is a match where if you play it again more often than not, it's going to be like, you know, City win a few of them. There's a bunch of ties, and if you play this again, a draw, I still think is the most likely outcome. That
Hmm.
one of those shots, instead of being blocked or whatever, sneaks in. Um, but what it looked like from beginning to end was an incredibly switched on and committed and intelligent defensive performance from a City side that kind of felt confident they could come in and and shut these guys out. And they did. And then the goal came down to really just one player's mistake. I think was it Sissoko who stooped down to head that ball away. The ball from Stanley, like it was kind
Hmm.
of it was a good cross, but it wasn't like Aiden has probably produced a couple better balls in this match that they were just on top of and swatted away. And this one kind of was dipping and a little weird. It looks like Sissoko um, tried to head it and just kind of missed. Like he stooped to head it and it was a little higher than he thought. And it just kind of sailed
Hmm.
over him and goes to so Darren, is is then like you just played in the you know arguably the best finisher in the league.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Thank you," and stuck it in the net. Like he didn't. There was not one iota of shitting himself about it. He was just like, "Awesome, bam, 1-0. Now we're gonna go play defense for the next 40 minutes. We're ready to do this." Um, and so. Like, I was impressed with the performance. I was impressed with the performances. Um, you know, uh, Lie um, managed not to get into foul trouble and get into our ability to control the midfield was not hampered by a bunch of yellow cards.
Hmm.
Um, uh, I feel like the subs when they came on made perfect sense. Darren. I mean, it's so hot. You get Darren out after an hour, put Ben in there because now you got the lead, and you just want someone who's just like you just want Ben to like work on fitness by getting his sprints in. Running at him a little bit. Ryan Williams came in for Kobe. I was a little worried about it, but man, was he lights out when he came in. Like a little more aggressive defensively, right at that moment where we're really committed to back footing it. We're no longer thinking, hey, 2-0 would be nice. Like we're just kind of like, fuck that. We can only do one thing. It's a billion degrees. We're playing defense. And Alex really was a nice pressure outlet when he came on for Aiden. And just a few times when we were kind of grasping at straws, he was able to drive forward and uh, at least make them retreat and think about defending for a minute. So I don't know. It was obviously an outstanding like result in terms of like if you're somebody who bets on City and probably should have put your smart money on the other side, like you're coming out feeling really good right now. Your heart led you the right way. Um, and yeah, uh, it's the level of football we've come to expect from this group. Like I said previously, like they're playing good football, just it hasn't always been winning football. And this was this was winning football to an extreme degree. This was kind of I'm willing to put my light under a bushel to shut this other side down and make it hard. And I haven't seen a lot of that,
Yeah, it was
from the
a
from the DKO sides, and it's like this was very good.
Yeah, it was a good response too, given, how those previous weeks went, losing at home to Las Vegas when you at the very least should have came away with at least a point there.
Right.
We know how things, went in Miami with the penalty and having to settle with, for a draw, down there. I mean, this was a
Yeah,
match too that, was ripe for, you know, uh, City to come back, and I think anybody would have been happy with a point coming out of Tulsa last Saturday night, and they get a little bit of a bonus there.
yeah, yeah,
You come away with 3 points, three big points. Considering we are now, just about mid-August right now, and there's not a whole lot left in the season. I mean, there's still plenty of time for, you know, some movement up there at the top of the Eastern table, but still, I mean, this is one of those wins that you're going to look back on and um be thankful that you're able to go in. I don't want to say steal
right.
it, but I mean, Tulsa, their defense coming in, four straight clean sheets coming out of this one now. Carlos Herrera, I believe, what does he have? He has seven clean sheets, I believe, on the season, which is tied for the second most in the league.
Yeah,
And anytime you would think that, this team is potentially, you know, gonna have that midsummer slide that, City supporters, fans have been all too used to. It hasn't happened yet. And even with a
yeah,
guy like Darren Smith as well, Darren Smith hadn't scored a league goal since going off
yeah,
in Jacksonville. He is
yeah.
able to get back on the score sheet this past Saturday. So I mean that was good to see. Uh, Anything else you wanna mention too, regarding last Saturday's win, Sean?
Well, no, but I think that it's one of those wins that kind of um draws everyone's focus to City, you
Yeah.
know, like, oh, okay, they won on the road there. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, and the fact that, that our defensive, like the fact that we've only given up 17 goals
Yeah.
in 18 matches, and it's like, oh, okay, well, they are still pretty formidable defensively. And it seems like, you know, uh, if traditionally what has happened for Detroit City is we fade in the summer and the heat,
Hmm.
whatever, we just kind of don't get results. And then as like everybody goes back to school and like it starts to cool off, we get up ahead of steam toward the end of the year and charge into the playoffs. And if that happens this year, we are going to be close to the top of the East.
Yeah.
Because we're 10 points back of Tampa Bay, 2 points back of uh, Charleston
Charleston.
with a match in hand
Hmm.
over both of them. We're 3 points ahead of Lou City with the match in hand, and Lou City shipped 32 goals this season so far. 32.
They've, do you say they've
Yeah,
conceded
they've
or scored?
conceded. They've
Conceded.
shipped. They've conceded
Wow. Yeah.
32. They've scored 33, which is more than us,
Hmm.
but they've conceded 32, which is almost twice as many as we have. So,
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, very uncharacteristic of Lou City, and I mean they're still a
right.
dangerous team, but I mean you can see was it Danny Cruz who left in the beginning of the season to take on that what is he taking, like an assistant coaching role
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Minnesota in MLS. Um so I mean to kind of wrap things up here with the Tulsa match. One other point I just wanted to make too, just kind of putting this win in perspective, in one last point here. Um, you look back to at the beginning of the season, the first quarter of the season and everything, just how difficult it was for this team to win on the road. Um, and you see a win like that. I mean, this team has come quite a long way since the beginning of the
yeah.
season in
They
this
are
regard too. So
they are undefeated in their last four league road matches. Jacksonville, Birmingham, draw with Miami, win in Tulsa.
yeah, that's
So
right.
I
They're
just checked that out. So I mean, at home they just lost to Las Vegas, but before that they had. So I mean, they're kind of a purple patch, honestly. Like
Charleston
we just,
Battery. Charleston Battery, May 30th, I believe. That
yeah,
was their last road loss.
yeah. So I mean, you know, on our day we were one of the best teams in the USL Championship at this point,
Hmm.
and
Absolutely.
which means that this weekend in a couple days when we host Loudoun United, who are 10th, um, who feature a double pivot of uh, our man James.
So
Uh,
looking ahead now to Loudoun.
yeah, looking at now to Loudoun, we got a starting midfield generally of James Murphy, who we all know likes a yellow card here and there. You know, tends to draw the occasional yellow card every you know 30 minutes or so. And then Bolu Akinyode, who's a 32-year-old Nigerian who I would describe as kind of a midfield hard man. He's he's a guy with some skill, but he also is a guy who is fond of the yellow cardage. Up front, they've got a really young. group of attackers that they're leaning on right now. I mean, they have a couple of more experienced guys. They have Jordan Farr, um, but they've been really leaning on Edward Davis, who's like a 20-year-old. Uh,
Is Jordan Farr, is he there on loan?
he, oh, sorry, yeah, I said Jordan Farr as a, uh, I think so.
I could have swore he was there on loan.
Um,
Not that it makes a difference. I mean,
oh, let's see, is he? Yes,
yeah, because he's on DC
he's
United.
yeah, he's on loan from DC United until
Yeah.
yeah through the rest of the season. Which I'm sure they just have an emergency call up provision for him. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, but the Davis kid, who's the other young guys? Oh, Abdulif Abu Kara. We played against him previously. He's the Egyptian. He was a teenager. Now he's I think 20, 21. Um, and he's quick. He's kind of lightweight. We've managed to kind of deal with him. I this team can score some goals. They give up a lot of goals. Um, you know, they give up. They've given up 30 goals this year. But they, on their day, can be very difficult to play against. They beat Indy 11 when they're on the road, just like less than a month ago. So you know, um, if we come out like we came out against Las Vegas Lights, we could reap the same whirlwind that we did against Las Vegas Lights. So, here's to hoping that we don't see any of that. Um, yeah, I
Uh,
yeah, I don't know what to say about this match except that we ought to moiderize them. Like I mean, this is a side we should be pulling the wings off of if we're going to be legitimate um, contenders for like hardware. We've got more top end talent. Our top end talent is better. We've got much greater depth. Our mid range player is at a higher level. They've got a few kids who have a lot of potential, but they don't have the Úlfarsson kid. I don't think, because I think he's been sold. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
they transferred their leading scorer, Thor Úlfarsson, to
yeah,
Iceland on back on
yeah.
August 8th for a club
Oh, it
record
gets sold to
fee.
Iceland. Okay,
Yeah.
wow. Breidablik Kopavagur. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Breidablik. Sorry, man. Yeah. Looks like
Um,
in his first match there, they got smashed by Valor.
oh,
And,
really?
and he yeah, and he got a low rating in the 30-minute run out. So
Hey, well,
hang in there.
Loudoun's counting their money
Thorley for
right now.
Úlfarsson. Yeah. They're like, yeah, bitch. We're gonna give this
Um,
20-year-old a chance.
I always thought that that's what they were gonna do with what's his face? Who was the guy that didn't pan out that Trevor that we traded to Hartford for
Oh, oh,
Matt Sheldon.
oh, oh. My brain is blocking his name out.
Skaggy.
Skage, yes.
Um,
our our
I
sad Norwegian.
yeah, I thought that this was going to be the timeline, like with City with Skaggy. He's gonna come in, he's gonna be amazing, and we're gonna end up selling him to some, you know, Scandinavian team for,
Mm,
some type of
yeah.
big bucks. But nope, we
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that was a potential ending to the story. Yeah. But I don't think anybody predicted that he was just going to grow so suddenly disenchanted with like playing the game.
yeah yeah.
Like this sport
Um,
sucks. Okay, okay, man.
all right.
Well,
Well,
awkward
I
since
want
this
to
is what
know.
we're paid to do.
I want to know from Trevor like how that conversation too with Hartford went. To get Matt Sheldon. Like, did Trevor like, oh no, he loves playing football. loves it. Um,
I'm sure that any lies were ones of omission. You
um,
know, if they asked directly, like, mental illness or something, they'd probably be forced to answer that.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
honestly, I don't know if it was mental illness. I think he just, was just like had a kind of work existential crisis
yeah, maybe he
kind of a
just wants to
deal.
be a singer
Yeah,
or something like
this
that.
is
You never
yeah,
know.
exactly. He wants to stream Overwatch on Twitch. Or that's his new calling.
He's a
And
podcaster
holy
now. He could be a podcaster now.
shit. Yes, yeah, exactly. He could join the noble ranks of podcasters. I just looking I haven't had the entire league table up for a long time, and Indy 11 is on like a massive winless streak.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like Detroit City-esque from last season right
They are,
now.
yeah, they're like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, we were kind of at the beginning of that. Yeah, we stuffed them. Miami stuffed them. Loudoun beat them. You got beat by San Antonio pretty bad. They drew Hartford at home. Hartford can't score.
they've got their get right game coming up this weekend. They're on the road against Jacksonville. Oh, it's gonna be so hilarious if they end up losing to Jacksonville though.
Yeah.
Please make it happen.
Jacksonville, Jacksonville, I mean, they beat Pittsburgh. That's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
it could happen.
but I mean, yeah, they are on a historic what's the opposite of a heater? Icer.
An icer, a colder.
Yeah, yeah. They played 19, lost 13. Like, wow,
Yeah,
you've lost 13 matches, 13 L's. Wow, you've given up 51 goals. 51? Well, oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh,
it's not looking good right now for Indy 11. That's why,
literally 3 goals for every goal City have given up.
yeah,
Like 3-1. They've
that's why I'm
given up
not.
51. We've given up 70.
Yeah, that's I'm
Yo.
not putting too much in Loudoun's win at Indy from a few weeks ago. But however, like I said, they did defeat Hartford 2-0. Lost to Charleston last week. They also though have a tie against Tampa, and the
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
Tampa's been playing this year, that I don't think that's something you can really look past. So, and I don't think
Yeah. Tampa
Loudoun's a team
wins
that you can look
almost as
past.
often as Jacksonville loses.
Yeah. It's the yin and the yang of
Right,
Florida
right,
teams right now.
right.
Um, and then Miami's kind of sitting there in the middle between the two of them.
Yeah, no, they really are. Wow. Okay.
um,
Interesting.
Detroit and Loudoun, this is their second meeting, I believe, of the season. Last one they played to a 0-0 draw back on May 23rd. Based on the stats from then, Detroit limited Loudoun to 5 shots and approximately, what was it, a point 0.4 expected goals. So I mean, again, you're talking about a different city team back on May 23rd. I think this team has progressed a lot since the beginning of
Yeah,
the
I think that's
season.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to get into
Why
quick
can't I find
predictions
that
here.
match? Sorry,
Oh,
I'm looking for that match
no,
you're
go
talking
ahead.
about. I'm like, oh, I want to click on the. No, it's fine. Um, like I got lost in the sauce here. Um, so my predictions. Uh, 3-0 City.
3-0 City. I'm gonna go 2-0 City. 2-0 City. Let's go with I'm gonna go with Darren. Darren gets another one. And let's see here. Darren gets another one. And you know what? I'm gonna go with Maxi again.
Yeah, I mean he's like, uh, you can see that he sees how he fits in now, you
Yep.
know? Like, and the difference in Maxi, like, is incredible. Like, when once he sees how he can contribute, he will do that with, all of his heart. um, and when he doesn't see it, you notice the lack of the heart thing.
Yeah.
Um, and but it's not like it's not out of sloth. It's out of kind of just like, well, I'm gonna kind of hang back and try to help until I figure out what's up. Um, I think, yeah, when I say 3-0, I think it's going to be probably Darren, Devin on a, set piece,
Nice.
and Ate's Juf.
Good.
Uh,
Nice. He
uh,
needs it. He needs it more than anybody.
like I'm kind of putting it out in the universe that he's going to be healthy enough for whatever enough to get a 15-minute run out, and he's going to get one on the break, and it's going to all the game's going to slow back down for him, and he's going to be awesome down the stretch
All
because
right.
we could really use that.
Um, well, kind of looking ahead here too. I mean, this is a big game. This is a win that another win that really, City needs in their pocket right now because when you look at the rest of the schedule for August, after Loudoun, you host Tampa Bay on August 22nd, and then you go on the road against Louis City on August 29th. So this is a win you're going to need. You're going to need this win. You're going to need 3 points out of this one, considering what is coming up. Tampa Bay is obviously, top
Yeah,
of the table in the East right now, and even though Louis City is not having a Louis City-esque type of year, they are still a dangerous team, especially if you have to go on the
right.
road and play
Okay,
them
so
too. So,
so here's my long-term forecast. I'm
okay.
not sure. I think we're going to beat Loudon. I think now I'm knocking on wood here, wooden table, knocking on it. To say that this is presupposing there's no disastrous, calamitous injury situations happening. We don't
Hmm.
suddenly lose Darren to a knee or, Kobe to, a broken nose. Um,
Hamstring,
right.
groin,
Right. Yeah. No, we're like just kind of
ACL.
assuming we like kind of just coast forward, playing the ball the way we are. Um, I think we draw against Tampa Bay, and then I think we go to Louisville City and uh, I think that's a match where as against Tulsa, I think where we can put them to the sword. um, and at that point, I think we would feel pretty solidly in the top half of like we could start thinking about what it's going to mean to host a playoff game at Keyworth
Hmm.
and how that's probably going to be like a television event. You know, we're going to need it's going to be a big deal. Um, so yeah. Anyway,
Um, I'm looking at that Lou City game on the road, and I want to put this out in the universe still because I still want to see it happen. If we're gonna get to 10 to time away from Keyworth, it's gotta happen at Lou City. Like I said, I've mentioned it before, and I'm going to mention it again because if we are putting things out there in the universe, I want to
well, we
see,
should.
I want to see Tatenda's,
I
I
like
want to
it. No,
see
I like
his
it.
shit. I want to see
Yeah.
his shithousery in front of the most
Hey.
pretentious fans in the USL. I mean, it would be
Right.
great. It would be
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Rattle your fucking jewelry. Um,
McCruva sitting there rolling around on the ground, faking the injury.
right.
I
Right.
want to see it. I want to see it in Lou City.
Right. The like a sudden overwhelming number of you dropped this king like the high life, handing you a high life to Dana
Yeah,
McCruva.
I just
Yes. Stunt on them hoes.
I just want to see like the just the disgust, the utter disgust in the stands of the Lou City fans and supporters of like, what is this
He's
madness that
making a
we're seeing?
mockery of the game. Yes. Yes, he is.
Hey,
It's
we dealt with it
glorious.
for years
It's
on the other end of it. Now
glorious.
you get to deal with it.
Enjoy.
Yup, enjoy.
Enjoy.
Um, One last thing for me tonight, Sean, and I don't want to get you, I mean, well, I don't want to get you too upset, but I have to
Oh
know
boy.
your opinion on it. I just have to as we close things out tonight. So, um, Jeff Bezos. That's all I'm going to say. Jeff Bezos.
I okay,
Jeff
so
Bezos in
at this
Liverpool to
yes,
add the
okay, so
context.
to add context to people who don't know, it is being kind of slow rolled out that a consortium involving Jeff Bezos and the guy who was played by the Facebook founder who was played by Andrew Garfield in The Social Network,
Hmm.
um, are part of a consortium led by the dude who was a former QPR um, CEO for like
Hmm.
18 years, um, that are buying like 30% of Liverpool. They're buying into Liverpool for something like a 1.8 billion dollars.
Hmm.
Um, so the overall valuation puts Liverpool's valuation at like, upwards of 5 billion pounds, I believe. So, you know, there's a couple of things possible here. It could be that these people are, it's a private equity kind of deal. So it's possible that what they're doing is saying, okay, well, Fenway Sports Group, who are the current owners, um, clearly know what they're doing about running a sporting endeavor.
Hmm.
They made the Red Sox world champions.
Yep.
They made they've made Liverpool into one of the top five clubs like financially in the world, which like they acquired Liverpool 15 years ago for like 300 million. And they are going to unload. They just unloaded 30% of it for five times that, six times that. Um, so they're succeeding, and private equity ghouls are like, yes, we would like you to continue succeeding in that way for us. That's part of what's happening here is they're dipping a toe in it. But what you expect inevitably to happen is that you know their ego is going to get the better of them. They're going and Fenway Sports Group are going to be like, they're just going to kind of slowly they're going to hope for a good year, right? They're going to slowly crank up what they're asking until they hit their actual strike price, and they're going to be willing to walk away with a big bag of money and leave Liverpool in the lap of um, like human ghouls, like people who are proven to uh relentlessly, remorselessly extract profit from every endeavor they come across. There is no charity in the Bezos spectrum.
No.
And um I to have this happening to Liverpool at the same time that what's happened to Detroit City is happening is, a bit disillusioning, let's say.
I was gonna say it's been quite the past couple of
It's
weeks for
like,
you when it comes to
are we
your.
just gonna I'm just gonna wind up watching like some kids play in the park for the rest of my life. Like, listen, it's not perversion, it's just anti-capitalism, okay? I just can't watch anyone who's getting paid to do anything anymore because eventually private equity is going to show up and be like, well, you either, literally donate us your children or we're going to extract value from you every time you glance at a match. Um, I am as Fenway Sports Group has continued to succeed, um, the likelihood of exactly this kind of denouement has grown so much more likely, because these modern clubs and their like really crazy income streams and valuations on their infrastructure and their human capital and their know-how. Like, the Dallas Cowboys are now famously valued at like $15 billion.
Hmm.
So Liverpool being at like 6 billion is like, you know, all right. All right, but that makes them one of the biggest clubs in the world, and it means that the only group that could buy them are, these kind of private equity ghouls or
Yeah.
sovereign wealth funds from like petro states who, essentially have enslaved their working classes. Like,
Hmm.
uh, like not a lot of wiggle room here in once you get to this level of Injustice Island. Um, so I am holding on to the vain hope that um, that John Henry is going to decide, you know what, I think I want 10 billion for Liverpool, and they're going to kind of butt heads for a couple years, and these guys will just get bored and go away. And we'll be left with the weird technocrats from Fenway Sports Group for the foreseeable future, because that's what they are. They're private equity, but they're like nerd ass technocratic private equity that like wants to build teams that break systems and win things,
Hmm.
because that's their jam, that's their expertise, they're founded around. And this group coming in is just founded around being the fucking blob from the sci-fi thriller, just like kind of glomming over you and dissolving you into
Yeah, just
itself.
consuming, consuming, consuming.
Consume. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, uh, you know, um, and like I just can't imagine. Like the thing is, a guy like Jeff Bezos obviously has come across the the s- the idea of a disastrously um overproductive monoculture, a a a species that takes over its environment so completely that it exhausts it and kills itself. Like that is not that weird an idea if you've read at all or if you've like, but I just think he's been a billionaire. Like I think that there was once a dude there who was pretty smart. And but being a billionaire breaks your brain. Like you've had a quarter century of being never being told no except when you got divorced. And never, like, just everyone around you blowing smoke up your ass every moment that they're speaking to you or reacting to anything that you're saying, like there's like because they want to profit from knowing you. um your wealth warps so completely every aspect of your reality that you just can't help but become a complete fucking asshole. And so it's rough. And
Yeah.
but that's who owns everything. We've been heading toward feudalism steadily, and the momentum is in that direction.
Yep.
So even if we, start putting, unfurl the sails of democracy and start, get the oars out and start backing water as fast as we can, we're still going to grind on in that direction for a minute because this is a big old ship. Um, and like, uh, you know,
Yeah,
I
you
will continue to
see.
watch Liverpool and think about Liverpool and love Liverpool and hope that this is a transient moment in the history of Liverpool, while understanding it's also just kind of part of the history of what's happening right now in the ownership of everything,
Ownership
like
of everything. Yeah.
everything anyone loves,
Yeah.
you know. Um, so
Yeah.
there are predatory piles of cash, kind of slothing around the world, trying to latch onto a thing you love and extract some more value out of it before they, you know, suck it dry and toss its husk aside. Uh, and I'm sure this will be fine. Let's
Well,
go.
yeah, on that note, yeah, I
Uh,
mean, like I said, I had to get
Yeah,
your thoughts
no,
on it.
no, yeah, I was not quite ready for that, but I guess I did have more thoughts on it than I thought I did. uh, you know, yeah.
Anyways,
Um,
the
well, and like
well,
the thing is, okay, there used to be a time where getting big, super rich, oh, like the wealthiest people in the world own your club. Um, would mean something to like it mean you buy some players and stuff, right? Like, but because of the way that the financial rules are constructed now, like there's none of that. Like it's all like squad cost ratio, like trying to fit people into the cap of that's based on your turnover. So like the only thing they can invest in are like long-term like infrastructure shit. The only thing they could pour their money into. And
mhm,
Fenway Sports Group has done a lot of that already. Like they've poured a ton of money into Anfield. They were thinking about going away from Anfield, and like instead they've massively enlarged it, made the cop like twice the size it used to be. The stadium seats like over 60,000 now. Um, so they've improved that kind of stuff in terms of like what an investor is looking for. Like okay, your match day revenue is up. 45%. Like that's crazy. But now let's goose the tick prices and let's make it like 75%, right? And that's the kind of thing that's going to happen. Like they were kind of restricting some of the sales on match day tickets, and we're trying to kind of really jack up the prices on some things. And Fenway Sports Group were coming into this season, and they got a lot of organized fan pushback from groups in the COP and elsewhere, and backed down. Said, okay, no, all right, we're going to go back to the previously scheduled, ticket prices. And next time they won't, right? No, if you got Bezos in there, it's just you're just going to be easy. But like, I mean, his entire wealth is built on like exploiting workers and like exploiting customers to and just not giving a shit. Like sociopathy is his brand.
mhm,
So
yeah.
fuck, man.
You hear
Like,
about how shitty
okay.
it is with Amazon. You hear about,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the gutting of the Washington Post. And now, I mean, if I was a Liverpool supporter like you, Sean, I mean, I would be incredibly concerned about,
Yeah.
what
Makes
could
makes my
be
stomach
on the
hurt.
horizon for them. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, yeah. But I think that also Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak working like as a traditional like striker, second striker pair look really fucking awesome. So I'm really excited about that. So that's where my head's trying to stay right now is like I want to see, Flo and Alex doing some bits.
Silver linings, man.
There's always the actual football.
There's always the actual football. There's always the actual football. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah, that is how
Um,
they get us. God damn it.
Any final thoughts, Sean?
Um, nah,
All
I'm
right.
gonna tap out.
Well, that's going to do it this week for Make City Make Spence. Remember, we've got Detroit City hosting Loudoun United this coming Saturday night at Keyworth Stadium. I believe it's at 7. But yeah, another big 3 points are on the line for them. And we'll be back again probably next week as well. So hopefully we're not as fatigued. Hopefully we're.
Right. We're punching at our weight next week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to
Oh,
be
under an
to be
hour.
determined.
Like it's the dream. Like all it takes
Yeah.
to keep us under an hour is for us to both be like kind of, hammering down caffeine to like stay awake long enough to finish it.
um, yeah, who knows what next week brings with that. But stay tuned. For Sean, I am Adam saying have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out this episode of Make City Make Spence. To see not only this one, but prior Make City Make Spence episodes, go to detroit.themajorsports.com where you can check out all of our catalog and all things going on with not only Detroit City FC centric content, but any Majors Detroit content in general. Additionally, you can find us on YouTube at The Majors TV. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you already haven't yet. And you can also find us on wherever you check social media stuff out. We're on Twitter and Instagram at TMSNX Detroit, Blue Sky at TMSNX Detroit, .bsky.social, and The Majors Detroit on Facebook. Additionally, wherever you check out your podcast, be sure to not only like and subscribe, but leave a 5-star review. It goes a long way in helping out all of our efforts here at The Majors Detroit. Thanks again, and catch you next time.